Spoiler warning. If you haven't watched the show that we are discussing today and want to avoid spoilers, stop right there. Go binge and come on back. If you have or don't mind spoilers, sit back with your favorite drink and enjoy.
Let's go.
And we are back to another episode of Coffee and Dramas with your hosts, Michael.
And Nadia over there.
Having a laughing fit. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome to spring.
Finally.
Woohoo! Snow is melting.
Which is great.
It's exciting.
Yeah, we got a bunch of rain. We get more rain. Get rid of all the other snow that's still left.
Yeah. We had a thunderstorm last night that was very intense.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And yeah, hopefully the summer is nice.
We hope.
Hopefully,
like the amount of people in homes and stuff can be raised a bit so we can celebrate things.
Barbecues and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, if no one fucks up.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So we would been binge watching a show that we're going to talk about today for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say binge watching because
I don't binge.
apparently she can binge Grey's Anatomy, but nothing else. And you're still binge watching it. You were watching it right before we started freaking recording.
Anyways, let's not get into this.
So we've been watching Descendants of the Sun.
Woohoo!
Which this is my third or fourth time watching. I can't remember, maybe fifth even. It was on Netflix. That's why it was on Netflix some time ago.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
It was.
okay.
When it came out in 2016.
So why did they take it off?
And because they rotate, right? That's what Netflix does. Rotates. They're not gonna. You won't find something that's on Netflix for 10 years, right? And then. So I watched it on Netflix. Drama Fever. I miss Drama Fever so much. And this finally Nadia we got Nadia to watch it. I think it's because after Vincenzo, she saw Sun Jung Ki, and she's like, I want to watch more of him.
I don't sound like that. My voice is higher pitched.
Higher pitch? I can't go higher than that. So I said, "Oh, why don't we watch Descendants of the Sun? That's one of the best dramas out." You know, so she's like, "Okay." So we started watching it.
So the one reason I never wanted to watch it, because I honestly thought it was just like I never read descriptions. I don't read descriptions of shows because I just like go into it blind most of the time. I don't want to know. But one of the reasons was because I honestly thought it was just like an army show, and it was like an action, shows don't always have to have a love story. That's not my point, but I just thought it was honestly just like an army thing, and I'm not huge on army.
Right, that's fine, fair enough.
Yeah.
Not everybody's into like military and stuff like that. But yeah, so I watched it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I got her to watch it, and she enjoyed it, and it was a very well done show.
It holds up.
Oh yeah,
even
it's 5 years,
6 years ago. So it holds up. Like, I'm literally just watching something that was made last year almost.
Yeah, like they really put some money into that show. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
How great the cinematography was and how great the action was. Granted, there was some scenes, like some of the action scenes were a little, you can see, like, obviously you can see the TV quality at that point. But usually, like, I want to say, I said this before, but I think it's like 2013 is where you really see the shift in quality for K-dramas. So 2016 is like where all like a lot of big shows really Yeah, because like that year, no, not that year. The year after was Goblin. The year before, what was it before? There was a bunch of big shows right around that time that really showed the quality of the Korean cinematography and Korean dramas.
It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Very well done. It's like you're watching a movie, a long ass movie.
Yeah, yeah. Which is
great.
How I like my shows. So instead of watching for an hour show, but it only takes 45 minutes because the rest of it's all commercials, you get an hour long of
almost like an hour and 15.
Yeah. Depending on the show. Yeah. Depending on the episode, depending on the show, it's like an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes. And you're like, oh, wow. And when it's well done, it's like an hour and 20 minutes goes by and you're like, oh, it's done already?
What happened?
Why?
Wait, what was the show we watched before that? Just finished it too, I think. Oh, Luca.
Oh yeah, Luca.
Luca was like an hour and 20 minutes, and I'm like sitting there, and I'm an antsy person. Like I get bored very easily, but like Luca, an hour and 20 minutes would go by, and I'd be like, wait, that's it?
Yeah. See, when it's well done, that's how it is. Other shows that are not well done, you're just sitting there shaking your leg and be like, okay, when is this gonna be over? So that's Descendants of the Sun, 2016, produced by KBS 2. It stars Song Joong-ki as Big Boss or Yoo Si Jin, the Jingu as Wolf or So De-young.
I like him too.
And then you have Son Hee Kyo as Dr. Kang Mo Yeon.
I like her too.
And then my favorite, Kim Ji-won as Lieutenant Yoon Myung-ju.
She's good.
Yeah, she was good. She was really good. That's where I first saw her. And then she came out with, she got her starring role in, I'm pretty sure it was Fight for My Way with Park Seo-joon.
I don't think I watched that.
No, you've watched me watch it 10 times, which you need to watch anyways. It's one where Park Seo-joon's a MMA fighter.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. I think I've seen most of it.
You're just watching me watch it. But this show has like, I'm gonna like name off a bunch of names, but this show has a lot of characters in majority of dramas today, right? And like over the past, you know what I mean? Like, you got Kim Min Suk and Bo Hyun Onu from SHINee, Lee Sung Ju, So Jung Young, Choi Wong, Kim Byung Chul, Jasper Cho, who's not in much, but he was in Terrius recently. He was the assassin. Yeah. And then Jung Soo Jin. I'm sorry. She was in. You haven't seen her in anything else, but I watched her in My House Helper. Okay. The one where he cleans the house. She just has shorter hair. I like her better with long hair. It's very nice. And then the American Korean Dan McInnes, who played
he's
Argus.
American. He's not Canadian.
American Korean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because in the show he's Canadian Korean.
Yeah.
Which is honestly a lot better.
Yeah. No. That's Jasper Cho, is Canadian Korean in the show, and I think he's Canadian Korean in real life.
Oh, okay.
Dan McInnes is the one that wouldn't speak, only spoke English. The bad guy.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, David. He's from Wisconsin. He's from Green Bay.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he's from Green Bay.
Wow.
It was funny. And he was actually in recently. I couldn't get past the first episode, even though I was excited for the show. It's called Kill It, and it's with oh my god, I can't remember his name. Anyways, he was in Come and Hug Me, and he was in Search WWW, and he was awesome. I really liked him, and I was like, oh, this guy needs to be in an action show. He needs to be in an action show. And then this show, in Kill It, he was gonna play an assassin, but then the first episode was just not that great, and it was some of the things just made no sense to the story, and I was just like, so I stopped. But he was in that show, and he was the one in that show. He plays his like mentor / father
Speaking
figure.
Korean though?
Russian.
So he speaks everything but Korean?
I'm pretty sure he speaks Korean. I think he spoke a little Korean. I can't remember. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So I've got to maybe watch the show. Maybe try and watch the show anyways.
Okay.
I don't know. There's some like I see clips of it and I'm like, oh, it looks interesting. But then I remember, oh yeah, I couldn't get past the first episode. I didn't even finish the first episode.
What if we just skip to the second episode?
I can't do that. I can't do that. I need to watch every single episode. Anyways, unless I've watched it already. So star-studded cast, really. Like there's so many people. Like I rewatching it now with you, I did not notice Kang Mo Yeon as Piccolo, and it was like, oh no way, he's actually a nice guy in this one. Whereas in the last two shows I watched him in, he was a complete asshole. Which you should catch him in Kairos. You should end up watching that eventually.
Yeah.
Kairos, which was good. And he was just like an asshole, but like you understood why he was doing the things he was doing, but you can't really condone it because he's a piece of shit. But you understand, and he played the role so well.
So funny.
Yeah, so like you'll see characters in there, you're like, oh no way.
That's so funny.
I would like to see Onu, the guy from Shiny, and more shows.
That'd be nice.
That'd be cool. He was really good. He was cute.
Did you want to do a quick synopsis?
Soldier meets a doctor. They fall in love.
Pretty quickly, actually.
And well, okay.
The rest is history.
No. Okay. He's actually Special Forces Black Ops soldier.
Which is sick.
So it's not just that he goes on tours and missions and he's deployed. It's he goes on secret covert operations where if he dies in the field, that's it. No one knows he's dead. You know what I mean?
Well, they know he's dead.
I mean, no one else is going to know like what he was doing, who he was, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like no one's going to admit that. You know what I mean? So it's like he's got to go to these dangerous places. And everything he does is confidential. It's all secretive, so not, you know what I mean? So
It's crazy that we actually like need that stuff in the world, like those type of special forces.
I mean, yeah.
Like it's really cool.
Like it is. It's crazy. You think about it, and like I can't not say anything against it because I think it's really cool. But I mean,
no, I know it's cool being like a spy.
It
covert.
sucks having to have it.
Yeah.
Right? Having.
You just can't really tell anyone. Like that's why I would never work for like CSIS or anything because I don't think I would be able to. Honestly, I don't even think I'd pass their first test.
Probably not. No.
I'd probably fail, and they'd be like, "Honestly, you're being deported to somewhere else because you can't be Canadian anymore."
So Special Forces, Black Ops, soldier meets doctor, and
Humanitarian.
surgeon, doctor, humanitarian, broadcast TV, doctor, personality.
Wasn't she forced on that though?
Yeah, she was forced on that because that stupid bitch.
Yeah, didn't want to be on
She
TV?
was like, I'm gonna what she became a professor, so like she got promoted, so she's like, I don't want to, I can't be on TV anymore because I'm so busy.
But in reality, she just kept killing people.
Yeah.
She misdiagnosed them all.
Oh my god. And like she was like, it's like, yo, if you're known to misdiagnose and like fuck up on the surgery in surgeries, yo, you should not be that cocky.
No,
you should not be that much of a bitch.
Also, how did you get your degree? How did you pass the test? Oh, that's true.
The more money you paid, her dad probably paid so much money to the school. They're like, yeah, here's a free degree. So they meet, they fall in love, and then it's really their kind of what's really cool about the show. It's about her life and his life, right? Separately, and then together, right? And then you see the ups and downs through their relationship, and that was like the key to the show is not just their relationship, but So Young and Myungju's relationship. You see that they're two soldiers but they still had like the
Issues.
dad still didn't want to friggin'
Yeah.
let them be together just because he wasn't a high ranking
Yeah.
like Captain Big Boss,
Mhm.
right? So it's like, yo, come on.
But also, like, Big Boss had the history too, right? Like, his dad was in the army.
Yeah, exactly,
And, like,
yeah.
what was his dad, a general or something?
Probably
Something high up.
Yeah.
So, like, he wanted that.
Yeah.
But it's like,
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always status. No matter what it is, it's always that status. Like, oh, he's good for you because he has the status. It's like, oh, what if he beats me and
yeah.
like tries to like
doesn't
rape
matter,
my
though.
sister, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
no. He's from a good family. Like, okay, that's good. His family's good. He's not.
Yeah. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Just go with him. Get married, you know?
Yeah.
You also kind of see, like, these two people are all, like, not just these two, like, all four of them are devoted to their jobs. Like, they love being in the
Yeah.
army. She loves being a doctor.
Yeah.
And, like, none of them want to give it up.
Yeah.
And you see how they make it work for them.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, technically, most of their relationship is either long distance or him missing.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's like, you see that love can, like, make it work if you want it to. If you want to put in the time and effort,
Yeah.
you can make anything work.
Exactly. I don't believe that
Except for an abusive relationship.
It-
Don't
yeah.
make that work.
I don't believe that you can't make a long distance relationship work. I know it's a struggle, and I know it's not ideal. But I mean, if you really care and love for that person, you'll make it work.
Also,
You know what I mean? Like my sister and her husband, they were technically in a long distance relationship before they got married and while they were
That's true.
dating. And at one point, because she was in Montreal and he was in Vancouver, in Whistler, and he eventually was like, "Screw it, I'm just gonna go to Ottawa," and because that's where our families are.
yeah.
And so when he came back to Ottawa, he would take the trip to Montreal
Yeah.
every weekend to go see her. Right? You find a way to make it work.
Also, there's a lot of things to help nowadays with technology and stuff like that. Like, there's phones, there's videos, there's
you
other things.
Yeah. I don't know if we should go into
No, I
those
know,
other
but I'm just
things.
saying, like
I mean, we can do like an after dark
Usually-
special, but like,
but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
usually people can't make it work because of other things, but like now there's so many things that can help a relationship out.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And like if it's the physical that you're missing, I mean, there's other things that you can do. If it's the emotional, like, I mean,
Then maybe you have to make sure that that person is available to
yeah,
you.
you work together to kind of find that kind of schedule kind of thing where it's like, if you're in the same time zone, we'll say you're in like, one person's here in Ottawa and the other person's in like Florida, or in the same time zone, so you can kind of make it work, right? So it's like, oh, I work till 5, you work till 5:30, 6 o'clock. Okay, cool. 9 o'clock, we can, call, video chat, whatever. You find that
You compromise
time.
on things.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You make time. Like, relationships are all about making time for the person that you care about, inserting them into your lives. Whereas if you don't make time and you're just like their second thought, then obviously it's not going to work.
Exactly. And then don't forget the communication, right? So you got to make sure that you're talking, right? And that was the biggest. So that was the biggest thing with Big Boss and Dr. Kang.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Is that he can't speak on the things that he does, or where he's going, or when he's gonna come back, because it's all confidential.
Which is scary too. Like, what if
It is.
like look what happened? He didn't come back for a year.
Yeah, more than a year. I was
it
actually
more than a
thinking,
year?
because his death wasn't announced right away when he went missing.
Oh, it's true.
It was, I think, probably about a month or so when
that's
they
true.
finally came back from the mission, because they wanted to look for him, right? And they didn't find a body. Came back, then they announced that he was dead. But he was gone for
Quite a bit.
almost 2 years, I'd say, because he left and he's like, oh, 3 months. 3 months, nothing. Seasons change again, so that's 3 more months.
Yeah.
So a year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. It's like the communication is key, key. But what was great about their relationship is that they found a way to communicate. You know what I mean? Like he whenever he had to leave, she's like, just tell me you're going to the department store. If you have to go on like a dangerous mission.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They found these like things so that he can be like, okay, I gotta go to the department store.
Yeah.
And she'll know,
yeah.
right? It's like, as long as he didn't say he was going out for milk, then he's never coming back. When he goes to the department store, he's gonna come back, right? They said it in the show when she's like, just tell me you're going to the department store and I'll understand. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, are they gonna say, is he gonna say if I go for milk I'm not coming back?
Oh my god.
But that's like, there's the communication there.
Yeah.
They talked it out, they figured it out. And like, if you're having a hard time with long distance relationships, just look at this freaking couple, man.
Yeah.
Like, look at married couple, people who are married to soldiers, right? Who, especially American soldiers, who have to do tours in like dangerous places,
and for like at least a year almost.
Yeah,
most of the time.
Like, I know Canadian soldiers do the same thing as well.
Yeah. I don't. Do they do it for as long?
I don't know, because I know with the Americans, even if you're like, oh, I signed on for 3 tours, they can force you to do additional tours without your consent. It's just That's like, yeah, you go. I don't know if the Canadian military is the same way though.
I hope not. It's very scary.
Yeah. So it's like, if they can make it work, so can you.
I think one thing that she actually did too is join a group, right? Like I don't think
the wives and girlfriends.
I don't know if it works for everyone, but if you're obviously living on oh my god, what do they call them?
On the military bases?
Yeah, the military bases. Like, usually there's communities there. So hopefully you have some type of support group that's there to support you. And that usually makes it easier. There was a show about it. Oh my god, what was the show called? It was like a Lifetime show.
That's your expertise right there.
I know. Oh Lord. It was interesting actually. So you saw, I think it was Military Wives or something like that. And but it was like a fictional show, not like real.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
They show you the life. So they all live on the compound.
Okay.
And you see like a private quarters and what they can get, and all the way up to like a sergeant. And how even though all the women have different ranking husbands, and there's one guy who has a wife that's high up, you see them work it out, and like, it's not just about the status, it's also about like friendship and taking care of each other and stuff like that.
Right, exactly, because it's like you're all in the same situation.
Yeah.
It's like, despite what your husband or your wife's rank is, they ain't here and they're over there risking their lives, right? While you're just back here sitting at home, maybe taking care of the kids if you have kids. If you have no kids, you're just chilling. You know what I mean? So that's where it's like, okay, if you're in a long distance relationship, just be grateful they're not in the army and not in the military, where they're overseas and risking their lives, you know. So, you know, you can make it work. If they can make it work, you can make it work, right? And like, all respect to, you know, soldiers and their families to be able to do that, and the soldiers risking their lives, and the families fucking always in fear of losing their loved ones overseas, right?
It's a
and like, I can relate ish. My dad was a soldier, like a general in the Syrian army. So I know it is a scary thing, especially from the stories that my mom told me, especially the stories that he told me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he's yeah,
you like, go through a lot of stuff, and honestly, it's a commitment for them. It's a sacrifice. And it's honestly like I honestly couldn't do it because I'm a pansy. But the people that are able to do it and that commit their lives to it is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like all respect to them, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, mind blank, thinking a lot of things. Yeah. Like I know I'd love to like talk about my dad, like the stories he told me, but that's for him to tell. Like he's supposed to be working on like
We all know he's not.
He's not going to, but I think it's because he wants someone there to sit with him while he does it, because he loves telling his stories.
Yeah,
and
the only issue though right now is because he's not super coherent anymore. Like his stories, like he kind of, I don't know.
What do you mean?
He just like whenever I used to be able to understand him, now I find it harder to understand him. Also talk to him because he doesn't listen to me half the time.
He doesn't listen anyway.
Anyways.
He's losing his hearing. That's why. He keeps saying, "Oh, I just missed words." Like, no, Dad, you're missing
the entire
conversation.
Yeah.
So, I think if we can just sit him down and let him talk, it'd be fine, and like get someone to translate. You know what I mean? It's not an issue if he does it in Arabic.
Yeah,
right?
May or Maha would probably be the best.
Yeah.
That's what they should do. Everyone should gather around the table, send the kids away, and we should just listen to him talk about his life.
That's what me, Hasten and Mesa would do that. We would sit down when Mesa was living with us on years ago. When she was coming back from Montreal. She was living with us for a bit, and she would go back here and there. But we would sit down with my dad, and we would be like, "Dad, how'd you get this scar?" And slashes on his back and stuff like that, right? So it's like he would tell us the stories, and it's like, oh, maybe he's making shit up. No, just ask my uncles, ask my cousins.
Yeah.
There's pictures.
Shit.
There's like pictures of like military and all that stuff.
Nice.
So, which is really cool. He used to yell at me when I was like 20, 21. He's like, "I was a general at your age. What are you doing with your life?" Like,
nothing.
I work at the damn library, okay?
I provide a free service.
I help people find their books.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, actually, the relationships between the two, right? So you have the doctor who's always busy and never home, and then you have the soldier who's never home.
Let's correct that. He doesn't have a home. He lives on the barracks.
Oh my God, that's right? Like he never actually goes home?
Yeah, like how, does he have an actual house?
I think so.
I don't think so, man.
He must, but you never see him go home. This is
No.
I think this is the first show I've ever seen where the main character never goes home. He's either at her house, at the barracks, at the freaking pub,
or overseas.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he has a house.
Cause like then he must have lived with his parents or had a room at his parents' house. Like I don't.
Does he have parents?
Yeah.
Did he say that? His dad.
Yes, thank
Wow,
you.
sorry.
She mentioned this early on in this
And then I
conversation.
forgot. This is the life with me.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was a weird one. Not having a, and I mean, I guess because he's always on the go.
Yeah.
That it doesn't really matter
Yeah.
to buy a house or to rent a place because he's just not gonna use it.
Yeah. Maybe he just stays in hotels.
Maybe it's possible. It's
Probably
possible that he
cheaper.
stays on the barracks 2 days a week and then he's off the rest of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That he's in another country the rest of the year. But he's always on call, right?
Yeah.
He's always on call. So it doesn't matter where he is. He has to leave.
Yeah.
But like their like the dynamic between like the doctor and the soldier, and I find it funny because in all the like medical dramas, you know what I mean, especially with your Grey's Anatomy that you're watching, like the doctors don't have time for anything.
No.
They're barely home.
Yeah.
And when they're home, they're thinking about being in the hospital.
I think it's a bit different now because they have place guidelines and hours and
Right,
stuff.
right.
But like obviously in Grey's Anatomy's case, like they're always there, but it's like I'm pretty sure you can only clock a certain amount of hours before you're forcibly pushed out the door, and you're not allowed to practice medicine until
Right.
like the next day or something.
Right, which makes sense. Like, why would you be working for 48 hours straight, kind of thing, or like 20 out of 24 hours?
Like I get it if you love it, but like that's a lot.
But it's like after like 10 hours, your body gets exhausted, and so you're not as 12. We'll say, well, let's go to 12 hours because like construction workers work fucking 12 hours a day, right? And it's just like nurses and doctors. We'll say 12 after 12 hours, your body is exhausted. You're not gonna be like 100% cognitive of what's going on. So it's like if you're working 16, 17, 18 hours and then all of a sudden, oh, I got to do a surgery. I'm not going to trust you to cut me open but if like, you've been working for the last 20 hours.
I feel like they gain an immunity to it, but also look at the surgeries that they do for like 24 hours.
Yeah, no, I know, but they have crews. They have like people that are there for it, right?
No, I know. I'm just saying like...
And they didn't work for 24 hours beforehand, so it's like, okay.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Like obviously Grey's Anatomy is elaborate and like probably like
you're like what do you call
it's
it?
like
over exaggerated?
Yeah, thank you. Like over exaggerated. So they take the most extreme scenarios and over exaggerate it even more. Yeah. And it's like, okay, calm down a bit, please.
And like I'm sorry, I don't like anybody on that show. None of them. And the ones that I do like are still assholes, like Alex Carrera.
Yeah,
Karev, Alex Karev. Like I like him when he's a doctor, but when he's talking to people, he can't talk to people. He's an asshole. Yeah, well, like
I can't talk to people either.
As a doctor, I would prefer him over anybody there because he actually cares about the patient and trying to save the patient's life. Yeah. Whereas you have like Christina Yang, who just
Sandra Oh, Korean, woohoo,
and Canadian.
From Ottawa. She's sick. I love her.
Yeah, I don't like her character.
No, her like
she only cares about
the surgery,
the getting the surgery, and you know what I mean. Bless you. Doing the surgeries and getting the surgeries and awards and being the best surgeon there, and it's like it's not a
But it is a competition because if you're the better surgeon, more people will come to you.
Right.
I don't know if that's how it is nowadays, but I
don't know. I'd rather the person who's a good surgeon and actually cares about the patient rather than the person who just cares about doing the surgery. Yeah. And trying to be the best surgeon ever.
But I don't think the surgeons are the ones that really. I think it's more like the doctor, right? Like I don't know. Anyways,
surgeon. Whatever. Okay. Anyways,
we could talk about that forever, but like that's not
back to the show. Yeah.
Anyways,
so the relationship is very interesting.
Yeah.
Right? The dynamic between the two, because they're both people who don't really go home. Yeah. One doesn't have a home. And rarely has time to like for a social life, right? Yeah. But then you have Sergeant Wolf, So De Young and Myungju, Lieutenant Myungju, who are both in the military. Yeah.
And barely have time for each other.
And it's like and I felt bad because she kept, every time he got deployed, she'd try and follow. And then he'd get transferred, right? And it's like...
But that whole thing was her dad's
exactly
doing, right?
That's why I feel bad for the guy, because she kept blaming him for running away. But it's like, he's a good soldier. Yeah. Like, he's an amazing soldier.
Well, so look at he's training the upcoming special force units, right? Like, you failed. Come lift me.
Yeah. Okay, switch. Yeah. But I felt bad because like you kept blaming him for running away. It's like it's not him running away.
It's like he loves you.
He loves you, but because he's ordered to do something, it's his duty to follow that order.
And he takes it very seriously. It's not like he's a willy-nilly type of person.
Yeah.
He cares about his job and he likes doing his job. And he's good at it.
And that's where like the father, at one point the father's like, okay, you can be with my daughter, but you have to get out of the army. And so it's like, then you see it's like, oh, I love her, but I love my job at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's that dilemma, but he was willing to give it up.
Yeah.
Right. And you can see him struggling with it. And then at points, because when they were in Urk, they, you see him like subtly be like, so do you want to stop working as a doctor in the army and just get your own clinic? Or trying to like subtle, like, let's get out of the army together. Let's get out of the army together. And she was just like, no.
I like my job.
Yeah, right? Excuse me.
I think the job is a lot, and if you really love it and you enjoy being in the army and you're not just in it for like, I know a lot of people in Canada are able to go into it for schooling, and they do take it, like they go into the army, they do their whatever they need to do, they have college or university classes as well, which is great because we supply that. But like if you stay in it longer and you love it, it's amazing. And like, why would you want to give it up?
Yeah. That's that exactly. And that was his struggle, right? That's the struggle with a lot of people, or if you love doing something and something happens that impedes you from doing it anymore.
Yeah.
That's hard, and that causes like depression and anxiety and all that stuff.
Well, look at the time where they all got called. So they were sending off what's his name? The kid to his high school test.
What's his Kim Ki Bum. Played by Kim Min Suk.
So they're sending him off to his like to pass his like GED, I guess.
Yeah.
And they all got called, and they're all being called in for the special
except
forces,
for So Young, yeah.
And like you see, like his whole friggin'
he was just
his
kind of like
mood just changed.
Yeah, it sucks, and then you see Big Boss look at him, kind of like
damn.
fuck.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
But like, I'm glad that the father came around, and he obviously should have, because like, why are you making him stop doing something that he loves to do? You should just promote him and get him a higher ranking. That's what you should do.
Yeah, and like he made a very interesting, like a very good point. Like So Young made a great point, like near the end there, and he's like, I'm a very good soldier, and I would feel safer with more soldiers like me, and I feel that like the country would lose out on having a soldier like me, which is true, because he was such a great soldier, and he was good at what he did. He was very skilled, you know what I mean, very intelligent, and he did what he was supposed to do, right? And he wasn't, the only real insubordination that he ever did was because of Big Boss.
Honestly, he could probably become like the special forces general or something.
Maybe, but he's more of a soldier. If you really look at his like demeanor, he's very good at taking orders. He's very good at following orders, and very good at executing the orders. He needed
a bossy girl like her.
Yeah, exactly.
I think like if he ever retired from being like on call special forces, he would be like, he was doing it already. He was training, but I think he would be a very good trainer as well. Yeah, and like at least like he could go over with them and like, you know, train.
Yeah. And I think that's something that they really showed too, how good he is as a trainer. Yeah. Yeah, like he made a tough-ass
trainer.
Oh. I'm like, there's no way I'm carrying this guy. There's no way. But I mean, they were training to be special forces, so I hope they could carry. Yeah. They have to be able to carry one of their own, right? Pick up that way.
I wonder what like we obviously only saw like the tip of the iceberg for special forces, but I wonder like what the training is. I know like obviously they must do like interrogation training, right?
Yeah, they do like interrogation training.
That's scary.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't want to know. I don't even want to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good.
That's funny.
I'm good. It was cool though. It was really good. Really good. See, like, so the show, it doesn't like it shows obviously um it was like a made up country that they went to, somewhere in the Middle East ish, closer to Russia kind of thing.
Well, it looked like Russia. I'm sorry. Like, well, I don't actually know what Russia looks like.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But the writing that was on all the signs.
Yeah,
looked
there's a
like
lot of Russian, but there was some of the kids were speaking Arabic. You know what I mean? And then there was always, and then they had the leader of the Arab world apparently there too. It's like, there was Arabic there too. It like it could be northern Syria where.
Do they connect?
No.
Okay.
Northern Syria is Turkey.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's like maybe well, it could be Iraq, which is closer, but that's closer to like the Afghanistan or Pakistan.
If you know where this made up Irk is, or like an idea, let us know, because we're curious.
They just put it wherever they wanted.
Yeah, you know.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool because some of the characters spoke a little bit of Arabic.
Yeah.
Especially when, oh my God.
Blakey?
Blackie?
I don't like that name.
It was really freaking random.
I know.
When he gets the, we finally get to figure out his name.
And then the goat.
So the kid was speaking Arabic, right?
Yeah.
He was, like, his Arabic was really different than ours.
Yeah, so it must be like... It has to be something, like, I don't know, man.
I don't know. It was a dialect that I don't know. So it
Yeah,
could be, like...
We've both heard a lot of dialects.
Yeah, it could be, because, like, the dialect could be, like, Northern African.
Oh.
Right?
I guess so.
So maybe they did film, maybe, like, I don't know, Morocco, Libya kind of thing. Like,
I guess Morocco would make sense.
But,
or Libya. 'Cause Libyans look like Russian.
Do they?
A tiny bit.
I'm not 100%.
They look Asian-y.
I think. A lot of the Middle East looks Asian-y.
Yeah.
We all look Asian, really. Like, my grandmother
Yeah, but she was...
looked like a Japanese princess.
She was something else, though. Anyways.
Well, she had a bit of Turkish in her.
Yeah,
and
Turkish looked like
yeah. What else did she have?
Like Ozil looks...
Yeah, Ozil. Yeah. If he didn't have a beard, he can probably pass as you know, Japanese, Chinese. You know what I mean? Russian.
I have to say, okay, Russians in like, so the native Russians, like that are like obviously outskirts and stuff, they are honestly some of the prettiest people. Like their features are friggin' gorgeous.
Yeah, they're really friggin' pretty.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, so random. Yeah. Anyways, it was cool to see the diversity in the show.
Yes.
He spoke a lot of English, which was pretty fun.
Both of them did. Like, she did too.
Oh yeah, she did too. That's right.
I think she spoke better than him.
Yeah, he was a little, I guess, like his English was fine. I think he just because of the tone that he was going with, because he was like trying to be serious and like threatening. He was a little slower on his words. Yeah. But pretty good though. Yeah. I feel like his Italian and Vincenzo was a lot better than his English.
Oh my God. I would say maybe it's because it's similar to Korean, but Italian's not similar to Korean.
No. But some people can pick up other languages better than
English. English is too complicated, man.
English is it's not complicated until you start writing it.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't make any sense. Because you're like, okay, I'm going to write knowledge. Tell that to someone who's first learning, and they'll be like, tell them, okay, how do you spell knowledge? No, wrong. What? There's a K. Why is there a K?
Why is there a K?
It's the sound. that the K and the N make, because the K is silent, and then it's all pronunciation. Anyways, it's don't get me
knowledge.
Knowledge.
Knife.
No. See, you're like knee,
knee,
right? So the K is silent, but it needs the K. Don't ask me. You're asking the wrong person. Anyways.
Says the writer.
I know. I have issues with English and the French
Oh,
language.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
His main languages.
Um.
Oh,
Yeah. So it was interesting to see that there was Arabic, which is awesome. There was a Russian. I'm guessing Russian at some points. But then David McInnes, the guy that played Argus, the bad guy,
yeah.
he did not speak any Korean, any other language but English.
He's
And
hot
it was
though, I gotta
freaking
say.
hilarious. Yeah, he was good. He was good. He was hot.
And like I will say, out of all the, I don't know what it is, but why do when they get non-Koreans to come act in shows, why do they have to be like so soap opera-y? Like they're over exaggerative and like it's like, let's be real. None of us talk like this.
I don't know.
But he is the most, I will say, is probably one of the better actors in English that I've seen. Because he's not like so over the top.
Yeah,
he is over the top, but like,
I guess that's just his character
Yeah.
too. Again, and Jasper Cho, who was speaking, he sounded like he was trying to be he was making his Korean broken, but then he spoke English with an accent, so it was kind of, I found that funny. But his English was good.
Yeah.
His Korean obviously is good.
Yeah.
But it was just funny because he made it sound like
he spoke more English than he did in Korean.
In Korean,
but then his English was,
he had an accent in Korean. Yeah, that's funny.
but it's like Taecyeon, right?
Taecyeon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in Vincenzo.
Yeah.
He speaks Korean amazingly.
Yeah.
But then when he speaks English, he has an accent. And
Yeah, he
you're
has a slight accent, but he still speaks fluently English.
I know, but it's just so funny because like you like he's probably been like he's American, right?
Yeah, he's born in Boston.
So he's probably been like that Boston accent. No matter what, you're always gonna have it. Like he speaks English with an accent. It's so cool. But like I guess because when you live somewhere and you speak a certain language so long, you kind of
it's like I think he was born. He was just, I know he he lived in Boston until he was like graduated high school, if I remember correctly, and then he went and he came over to Korea. But the thing is, like, so if his parents probably spoke Korean at home all the time, and then he's a year older than me, so he spent the last 15-16 years in Korea, right?
But if you get him to like just have an entire conversation in English, you could probably pick up his Boston accent.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
It'll come out.
No matter if he's speaking like with a Korean accent, his Boston accent will still come out.
Yeah,
because it's such a prominent American accent. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when my sister spent time in New Jersey as an au pair, when she came back home, she had a thick Jersey accent.
That's so funny.
Thick Jersey accent. Like I think she was there 2 or 3 years about.
Yeah.
And it took time to get rid of it.
That's so weird.
So that it comes back to like her Canadian, Ontario, Ottawa accent. And after a while, even like I think it was like about a year or two after she came back, she still had, there were certain words that you can pick out and be like, it's Jersey, from Jersey. But yeah, that's 100%. You'd probably hear it still. So that's what it's interesting. It's really, really, really interesting. And I would have been nice if they would have like spoke Arabic. That would have been funny.
I wonder why they don't. They never fully speak Arabic in Korean shows.
There's a show that was apparently very offensive. I found it hilarious. What I found offensive about it was that they were glorifying cheating. That's what I found offensive. I did not find any.
What show is that?
It's called Dying to Live, I think it's called, or something like that.
Sounds
So
like
the guy, so he leaves from Korea. He's a businessman from Korea, and he leaves Korea and goes to the Middle East. And he ends up being like an oil tycoon in the Middle East. Okay, so he speaks Arabic. He wears the whole, I think he was most likely in Saudi Arabia or Dubai or Kuwait, because he had the big the big brown thing that my dad has, that and then he has the whole headset and everything, the whole headgear. And
I don't find that offensive. You're just being
No, hold on. Let me get there. So he speaks Arabic, and like the dialect is more Saudi, more Kuwaiti,
like that side,
but where it's more written, right?
Yeah.
You speak more written, where we
very
speak
clicky.
or we speak it more.
The spoken word.
Yeah, it's spoken,
Yeah.
right?
Less harsh.
Yeah, because the written is really hard. The
Yeah.
written is like it's too complicated. So he speaks Arabic. So he goes back to Korea because he finds out that he has a daughter that he didn't know about. So he goes back to Korea to find his daughter, and then he ends up you end up finding out like his daughter is married to this guy who's cheating on her.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, and there's a whole like there are scenes with like women with hijabs and stuff like that, and like sexualized a little bit here and there, but it was more for comedy. And what bothered me is that nobody was talking about the fact that they were just glorifying his cheating.
But they never do. They never do in these shows.
Oh, I know. And like I've read comments online about this, and like Arabs are just like, yeah, it's funny, it's whatever. If you don't take it personally, because if another like it's not that they're poking fun at the religion or the culture, they're just trying to make the show funnier.
I think something that Arabs have on other cultures and whatever, they see the comedy within
yeah, because they make fun of it. We all make fun of ourselves. Like the Arabs will poke fun at Arabs
like,
all the time.
We don't. What's the letter that we don't have P? Is it P or
yeah,
B?
we don't have the letter P, and
Yeah.
So if we say problem, it's problem.
Yeah, like
if we say like
and like people make fun of that. It's like we don't. Like it's again,
It's
if you're
like-
not going to the religious aspect or the political aspect, it's funny.
yeah.
Just leave that shit out of it, because like that's when it gets serious to us.
Yeah, it's
not to me because I don't care about it, but like
like
I don't want to talk about it.
anyways, so this show,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of Arabic, and he speaks a lot of Arabic, which is funny because like I had my parents watch a bit of it, and they're laughing. So especially my dad was dying. It was good.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, I was hoping in this show that there would be a little bit more Arabic, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's
English
okay.
is enough, I guess.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's it for that.
Yeah.
I guess. Today on What's Poppin'.
Woo!
In reference to what we were just talking about,
What's poppin'?
is a song called "Illusion" by B.I.G.
Okay.
Not Biggie. B.I.G. a Korean boy group. And this group,
Oh, are they the? Yeah,
they do some of their songs in Arabic. How most of the K-pop groups do it in English.
Yeah.
They've done it in Arabic. So there's the Arabic version of "Illusion," which is not the dialect that we understand or speak, but there's a lot of it's obviously they probably get like someone from the Emirates, from from the UAE or something like that.
Yeah.
Because the dialect is completely different from ours.
Yeah.
But you can understand, like we can understand it, some of
most
it.
part.
Yeah. Some of it
find
you
it-
can't, because it's like, like the dialect's different. So if they're using words that are written words,
Yeah.
it's harder for us to understand because we don't really use written words.
Also, we're not around it as much as we used to be.
Yeah.
To like keep up.
Yeah. And I always try to talk to my parents in Arabic, trying to keep it going.
I don't, because
Because you don't speak Arabic in general.
At least I understand better.
I
than
know
you.
you do. Let's okay. That's
Meh.
besides the point. Anyways, so in B.I.G, you got Jaehoon, Gunmin, Minpyo, Hido, Jinsuk, and then Benji, but he just left the group last year in 2020.
Oh, why?
I don't know. They've been around since 2014, so I guess he wants to go do some solo stuff, which is
Do they act?
by all means not that I know of, not that I've witnessed. They're not huge, and I hope this gives them a little bit more of exposure, which I don't know, to like the 15 people who listen to our show. We love you. We appreciate you. Please keep coming back every week.
Maybe comment once in a while.
You know,
We'll have a conversation
yeah.
with you.
And it's like, so this group, they're good. They're good. Like they're entertaining. They have fun when they're doing their, like, you see their music videos. They have like a lot. They have cover.
Yeah.
They have cover music video covers
you were
for
showing me a lot of it.
a lot of the Arabic songs, and you see them having fun doing it, you know, and they're very interesting. They're very good, very talented, and I feel like they should be bigger than they are. And I watched some of their interviews, and they're really interesting. They do their openings in Arabic and in Korean, and some of them can actually do it better than the others, because you know how, like, a lot of times when you're singing in another language, you kind of just go through the lyrics, right?
Also, Arabic's hard.
Arabic's really hard. That's why,
especially if you're saying the written stuff, is very hard.
Oh man, like, 110% for these guys to be able to do this when I can barely freaking speak to my parents in Arabic, you know, with my broken Arabic. They did a great job, you know, and they're smart. They went to the Arab community, because if you didn't know, a lot of the Middle East loves K-pop.
Yeah, it's
loves K-pop. Like, they like huge fan base, especially for EXO, BTS, you know, Monster X. They have a huge fan base in the Middle East. Huge. And like a lot of the Arabs here in Canada and like North America. So they did a smart thing of just trying to like get into that market, which is genius. But this song, Illusion, really good. It really it kind of plays on I found it really perfect for this show, because they spend most of their time in Urk, which is in the Middle Desert, which is in a Middle Eastern country, right? And this song, there's like parts of it where it's like it talks about you know, you're being in love and like stuck in the desert and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like it takes aspects of like the Middle East, and they kind of like, you know, make a love song out of it, because Arabic music, that's what it is. Arabic music is all about love. It's all about love. Arabic music, it's love.
I have a favorite song, I forgot what it's called.
And you know what I mean, especially like my mom's favorite singer, Abdul Halim Hafiz. His music is all about love, right?
It like, love is the easiest thing to feel, so much, you know, like you feel it in your bones when a singer really means it. It is just so felt. Like, although I can't remember names of songs and lyrics to a lot of the songs I listen to, I'm a very music-oriented person, where, like, the feeling of the music, and if I can feel the person singing it, like, not actually feel them, but, like, feel them in my bones and my essence. I love it.
And
it makes it better.
And I feel like it's good, because it's not sexualizing it. It's just kind of, you know what I mean? It's all the emotions and feelings of love, and like the different types of emotions and feelings of love. And like they did that well with this song, and like and it followed really a lot of Arabic music, where it's all about the feelings and emotions that come with love. And I mean, if you think about, like, BTS has done it where they showed you different sides of love, right? You know, fake love, and then they have like you know, Run, and then, you know, like they show you, like, not just like
there's more than
just like, oh, I love you, you love me, and like stuff like there's so much more to it, you know. There's different sides to it, and that's what's great. And like they did a good job with this song, and this song really
feeling that.
And it really translates well in Arabic too, with like the emotions and stuff like that. So if you can, check it out. B.I.G. They're on Instagram as B.I.G official, I think. Just YouTube, Google. They're really good. They need more exposure. Maybe they don't want it. I don't know. Sorry, guys.
But they're good.
They're good.
Them.
I like it.
Very different. They do Arabic stuff.
It's great. So check it out. To all our Middle Easterns.
Keep supporting.
To all our friends and family and fans. I don't want to call you fans. You're family now. That's how it goes.
We love you.
We love you. We'll see you next week. Next week will be our season finale.
Woohoo!
We'll take a break for
About
a month or so.
Yeah.
We'll keep you up to date. I'll do like weekly
stuff.
Yeah, I want to do like I'll still do like a weekly podcast, but like nothing like not this.
Like
We'll just do like random
Yeah.
stuff for like 20 minutes or so, just to keep you guys updated, entertained, and not to miss us too much.
Yeah. But anyways, like always, follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, everything. We love you. Have a good week.
Take care. Bye.